Hello, bonjour. I'm Crandall. Welcome to the podcast that answers the question, if an infinite number of monkeys will write Shakespeare, what can a few dozen monkeys do? This is an interactive podcast, and together we will write a story up to 10,000 words, because there's 10 chapters, and each chapter has a limit of 1,000 words. The genre this season is Romantasy, and this time we'll talk about writing chapter 1. And yeah, I want your input. I want you to write this chapter. And don't worry, if you don't have any ideas, there is a brainstorm incoming. Romantasy. Now, last season we did gore horror, and it was really, really easy to look up beats, as in, the different parts of the story. And we would take these beats and just, run through them 1.5 at a time. And we got to our end of the story. I'm surprised we finished it, to be honest, because every step of the way we're like, I don't know. Romantasy was a little harder in that way because it's kind of a new genre. And my understanding of it is that it was like, okay, the people who grew up reading Twilight have matured, because that was a long time ago when Twilight came out, and they want more of that, but it to be more adult because now they're adults. So, and I don't know. But anyway, so it's a relatively new genre, and it was really, really hard to find any beats for it. Actually, there was no beats for it that I could find, so I had to make my own. I'm not familiar with the genre at all. I don't participate. I don't consume romance. I don't consume fantasy. So what I did was I looked up beats for romance, which was, was it called Romancing the Book or something? Editing Crandall here. It was Romancing the Beat by Gwen Hayes. And then I also looked up beats for a fantasy story, which was the hero's journey. And I took those two beat sheets, combined them in a way that made sense to me, and then made it so that they were there was 15 beats. Because last time we had 15 beats, and I was like, that was fine. Let's do that again. So I will definitely link my Romantasy beat sheet in everywhere so that you can go check it out and you can tell me how I went wrong. But it is the only map we have, so we'll go with it. Reviewing the podcast from last year, I decided to make at least one small but impactful change, and that will come after the brainstorm, you'll see. So this season we had to get a new guru. Thank you, T.L. Bodine, for our gore horror guru tips and all that and the beats. But this season we had to find someone new, and again, it was hard to find someone who just talked about romantasy and how to write it specifically. But I did find someone. Her name is Georgia Summers. Our new guru this season is Georgia Summers. Obviously, I'm going to link that everywhere so you can check her out. And here's her number one or first guru tip. Georgia Summers says, playing with opposites is a great way to develop conflict between your characters and build the foundation upon which their romance rests. Enemies to lovers is a popular approach, but there are many other opposites to look at. Maybe one character loves rules and the other character loves to break them. Or perhaps one character believes that violence never solves anything, while the other believes that any problem can be quickly resolved in a fight. Thank you, Georgia Summers, for your advice. I'm sure she will not steer us. Oh, what's that? I hear a brainstorm. I guess it's time to sneak through the secret passage into the Spooky Room Productions lounge And hopefully someone will be there. Who knows? It could be anyone. Someone, hopefully, will be there to brainstorm with us. Let's go. And here we are in the Spooky Room Productions lounge next to the fireplace and the beautiful stormy, brainstormy weather outside. And oh, hello?
Hello.
Oh, it's Ripley.
It's still me.
Oh my God. How did you enjoy your break?
It was delightful.
Okay.
It was nice. I can't wait to brainstorm again.
Yes. Yeah, it's going to be a little crazy. This is something this is a genre I'm not.
Yeah, the romance side, I don't know. But I've never read romance novels, so I don't know.
But anyway, so I'll actually give you this book here. Just a second. So that you can see what. Here you go. Printed word.
Oh.
So you can see what we're doing. So I guess I'll just get right in. Oh, is there anything you wanted to say before we get into it?
It feels weird having the book.
Yes, you have the business book.
All right.
With all my business.
Mm.
So I'll read the beats, and we're going to do the first beat, and then half of the second beat, 666 words-ish, and 333-ish words. Number 1, the before times. Introduce main character 1, living their normal, yet compelling life. They realize something isn't right, and it's time to become the hero of their own story. This realization comes from another character or situation, or is motivated by a problem or something they've always wanted to accomplish. Main character 2, the romantic interest, is also introduced, living their normal life. You got it?
Got it.
The descriptions are a little longer than last time, but it's fine. And number 2, we're going to do half of this. Nobody's perfect. Main character 1 is hesitant to embark on the adventure because of their weaknesses and fears. The refusal can be resolved through encouragement or realizing what they are missing. The first meeting between the main characters should be memorable, and at least one of them should explain, internally or externally, why they will not fall in love with each other.
Perfect.
So we can probably cut this one right before they meet.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then chapter 2 can start with their meeting, I guess.
Oh, okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Just so we can have 1.5.
Yes.
So, what do you think?
Well, it says the romantic interest is introduced in the first beat.
Yes, but they haven't met.
Oh,
like you can introduce someone, like you can see someone and go, oh, I know him. He's
gotcha.
Jack Shittington, and he lives over there, and I've seen him at the church. Mm-hmm. And man, is he a weird dude?
He's a real cogswallow.
And then the next time they actually have to get together and be like, hi, I'm Jack Shitface or whatever he said.
And I like the cogswallow. So where did these beats come from?
I made them.
Mm-hmm.
I synthesized some beats from fantasy and romance because I could not find anyone who made these beats for Romantasy, so I thought, why not me? I guess I'll do it. I'll step up, help everyone. Thank you. I mean, you're welcome.
Well, thank you.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, anyway, so the before times, we have to introduce the main character. I did some research on tropes, and usually these books are about women as the main character, so we should do that.
So I thought maybe we would discuss the world.
Yes.
Since the fantasy world means it's different from ours in some way.
Yes, of course. Fantasy worlds. What do you think?
Well, you got high fantasy, so that's lots of wizards and shit, super large amount of magic and stuff, or low fantasy with low amount of magic, like Conan. So you could pick one of those or in between.
Yeah, I'm personally
low magic.
Only familiar with Conan.
Yeah. So
like
it'd be a low magic world.
It could be.
Mm-hmm. It would certainly make things easier on you.
Or whoever's going to write this.
Oh, yeah, which doesn't mean that magic doesn't exist. It just means that if it shows up in your story, it is rare.
And the thing is, everyone, don't forget that you can actually do whatever you want as long as you fulfill the beats.
Yep.
And Hermes is here, and he looks like he wants to
Oh, he's gonna
jump
attack you.
on buttons. So hopefully this... Don't do it. He's evil. Okay. Anyway.
If you listen to the other podcast, you can hear him attack.
Yeah. Oh, no! Okay. All right.
Are we recording again?
I think so. Let me check.
This is try number 3. Try number 3 we're recording. He pressed the stop button, and then we fixed it, and then he pressed the stop button again.
And then, oh, I can't even hear myself.
There's some
Wait a
smashed
second,
dishes where he jumped off and smashed some dishes, and there's a lot of knocked over cans. It's damp and glassy over here. There's a lot of glass over here. I'll have to clean that up later.
You want to clean that up now?
No, we'll continue.
No, I can play some soothing music while we take a cleaning break.
Fantasy interlude?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Let's take a little break.
Okay.
So a low fantasy world, a la Conan or some such.
Okay.
Although technically, you can set your technology to be different, because Conan is sort of an older time period.
That's what I'm saying.
So you can make it more like, a low magic, like a Conan type thing, but in a standard medieval type of world.
Yeah, that's fine. I think that's better.
All right, well, we'll set those as our parameters.
And there could
to
still
start.
be, even in that sort of fairy tale medieval world or whatever, you can still have cavemen if you wanted to.
Of course you can. You could do whatever you want.
People wearing furs.
It's fantasy.
It's what?
Fantasy.
Oh. Yes. So, okay, so we have a girl, we need a lady character.
Mm-hmm.
She is living in this world. Oh, is there any more world building we need to talk about before we continue?
I think that'll get us started anyway. Yeah.
Okay, so there's a lady, and she lives in this world, and as you can see from the... Is the book still over there?
Yeah.
Because the cat destroyed it. As you can see, she needs to realize that something isn't right, and it's time to become the hero of her own story. The realization comes from another character or situation, or is motivated or problems other than what it accomplished. So what do you think about that?
So she'll be living in her little place. She got her little family. They got a little town. Maybe something's going to happen in this town which will cause her to want to leave.
Yeah.
Things have been nice up until then. And then she's like, you know what? Things aren't very nice right now. Maybe, there's a war coming or a situation like that. Or maybe there's invaders coming and she wants to leave, or maybe go to defend the city. Something like that.
Yeah, that could be good, or it could be something more personal. Like, she has been living this sort of life. She's living life, and things have been going fine. But as she's growing up or whatever, first of all, let's make her at least 20.
Yes.
Like, let's not get into any teen stuff. Any teen stuff you send in will be rejected.
Mm-hmm.
We want everyone to be of age, because who knows what's about to happen to these people.
Well, maybe, the life of the adventurer for her, because she doesn't want to stay in this little town and just get married to someone.
Well, I was just going to say
work
that...
the farm.
But as she matures and grows and has to transition into a fully adult life, she finds that all of a sudden who she is and what she likes is no longer acceptable. And maybe she's like, I don't want to change just because I'm 20 years old now. And in this kingdom, that means that we have to blah, blah, blah.
Or even just, not have freedom and have to settle down.
Sure, if you just that straight up marriage situation, and we could do the arranged marriage thing, I guess.
Or even just you have to get a job, and it's a boring and lame job. You have to go work in a town or get an apprenticeship. And she's like, "Buh, I don't want to do that."
It's more stuff like, when I was growing up, and everyone just thought, oh, she's the kooky girl who likes to wear flowers in her hair all the time. But now that I'm a grown up, I'm not allowed to wear flowers in my hair, and I have to buckle down and be a reasonable adult, and I don't want to do that. It sucks.
Perfect.
Plus, arranged marriage.
Well, people could be, suiting, and their parents might be trying to convince her to do it. But
Yeah.
she's like, no, I'm out.
Okay, so the thing is, if no one writes this, I have to write it. So
That's
if you guys
right.
don't want this story to start with a girl who feels like she wants to rebel because she wants to continue to wear flowers in her hair, then you better write it. Save the story
Mm-hmm.
from me. I guess, yes. Okay, so there's this girl. She's living in this medieval fantasy, fucking low magic-y town. She's coming to an age where someone's pressuring her to do something, get a job or get married or not look like a weirdo anymore or whatever. And she's like, I don't want to do that. So she wants to leave.
She'll go to the big city.
She'll go to the big city.
The big city, see?
All right, so that's fine. I think that's a reasonable thing. Or at least she's like, I have to do something.
She packs up her shit and she goes.
Oh, whoa, she just goes?
Yeah, she just goes. I'm going to the big city.
Okay, so she goes to the big city. Does everyone know that she went, or does she?
Oh, no,
sneak
she's
out?
going to sneak away in the middle of the night.
Okay,
That'll be more exciting and
so-
romantic.
Okay, I guess you're right.
Mhm.
So she sneaks out.
Especially with the moonlight.
Oh.
Because while she's sneaking away, ...
Okay, remember we only have 1,000 words, but you know what?
Mhm.
This seems reasonable. So she goes to the the big town, big city next door, and are people going to come after her?
Well, maybe.
Okay, so she's going to try to kind of keep it on the down low.
I mean, it's a big city, so they might not find her anyway.
I suppose it's not like they can track her phone.
Yeah, exactly.
Is she
So once you're there, you're there.
Is
so
she magical? Is she interested in magic?
Maybe she is magical, but she doesn't know.
Okay. Yes, that's fun.
We'll just leave that in the air for now in case you need it, guys.
So she gets to the big city, and does she meet the main character? Or the main character too is introduced, living their normal life. So
Mhm.
is the romantic interest? Did that person live in the city?
Yeah, I'll say they live in the city.
Are they like a musician or something, and she goes to a bar and she sees them performing?
Oh, that's perfect.
Thinks they're wonderful or something?
Mm-hmm. That's perfect.
Because
There's only in the
and
big
she's
city
like,
would they have musicians.
and the
like
thing
that.
is, this is her first time in the big city, so when she gets there,
Oh, yeah.
maybe she gets scammed. Maybe
Mhm.
someone takes her laundry, what's it called? Luggage.
Her rucksack, her bindle.
Yes, someone steals her bindle, and she's very upset. But you know what? She's got a few bucks left, and there's a pub right there, and she's like, fuck it, I'm going to get a drink.
Mm-hmm.
She goes in, there's live music. It's this amazing romantic interest that...
Maybe she's even thinking, well, maybe I'll have to give up and go home, but, I might as well have a drink while I'm here and find a place
Exactly.
to stay for the night.
Oh. So, yeah. So the romantic interest is there at the bar, but
Mhm.
he or she, whoever, is a musician. I
And we
guess-
can even have like a little story break where we get to hear a little bit about his backstory.
Yeah.
What's going on in his day during the day.
Wait, how do you do that though? Without you have to.
Well, as soon as she walks in, then the section ends, and then the next section is you just have this guy there.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. And then we kind of switch points of view.
Mm.
Because that's what I was worried about. I was like, I don't want to switch point of view. Like that'd be weird.
Oh, we can. We can just keep on the same point. of
No,
view.
I meant in the same
Oh, yeah.
section. Like if you make a break, then you can go ahead and change the point of view.
Mhm, yeah.
And then that would also introduce the story of it's from his point of view, it's from her point of view.
And
back
if it was
forth.
me, I would make his life actually pretty shabby and sad. And, he's a musician, sure, but, he lives in a terrible squalor.
Yeah.
And he's a bum, and everyone makes fun of him. But when we get to the point where their lives intersect and it goes back to her point of view, he seems so miraculous because he can play an instrument and he's up on stage.
Okay.
Wouldn't that be good?
And also he has to kind of sell himself. Like maybe he'll have like bravado.
Yeah, exactly. Only it's all fake, and she doesn't realize
She
that his
doesn't know
life
it, but
sucks.
the reader already
like
knows
real
it.
musicians.
Yeah.
seems so dreamy and romantic, but you're like, oh, you just sit in this
Okay,
squalid hole.
the only problem with all of what we're just talked about is
Yeah.
that we have to do number 2. Nobody's perfect. Main
Mhm.
character when is hesitant to embark on the adventure because of their weaknesses and fears. Refusal can be resolved through encouragement or realizing what they are missing.
Well, she's already had her setback. She's been robbed, so she's just like, oh, I was so dumb to be robbed like that. And then he can encourage her after he meets her to be like, you know what, you should give it a try in the big city.
Okay, so basically, but that will be the next chapter.
Yeah.
No, I mean the meeting.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so basically, this girl, she's like, I don't want to stay here anymore. I'm sneaking out. And for some reason, she had to sneak out. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know, make it compelling. Like, oh, the next day she has to. Her parents secretly set up this marriage for her, and if she stays, then she's gonna have to marry him the next day. So she's like, no, and she runs away in the middle of the night. There, boom.
Yeah. Or they're like, you gotta meet this guy. Maybe it's for a job, maybe it's for a wedding, whatever.
And she just freaks out.
Yeah, and she's like, I'm out of here. Well,
Yeah, she's like, okay, fine, I'll do it. And then really she's laying there and she can't sleep. And then she's like, oh my God, like I'm freaking out. Like,
Yeah.
She freaks out.
She's out.
Fine. So then she goes to the big city. She gets robbed of her bindle. She
Mhm.
goes to the pub. She sees the romantic interest.
She should be swindled of her bindle. Because that way it'll make her feel stupid.
Oh, so some
Mhm.
guy comes.
She's not just overpowered. That could happen to anyone. This is the way that her setback, where she will feel like she is lesser than. because
And
she
it's
was-
also a reason to not trust people who are swindling you.
And it's the nobody's perfect part where it's, oh, well, I guess I wasn't as smart as I thought I was.
Okay, so are you saying swindled as in swind or actually?
No, actual swindled.
Oh,
Yeah.
what the fuck? Because I was like, okay, because I was going. Okay.
Oh, that'd be good too. Yeah.
No, it's
I forgot
fine.
I forgot the swindler T-shirt. Yeah.
It's fine. So she goes to the pub. The character too is playing in a band. He looks super cool and sexy and awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And do we see him, or do we just? I guess we would have to. And then it's a break, and then we can switch to his point of view. He's playing a song, but we get his backstory. It's like really lame, and he sucks. Wait, what's his? This is gonna always be a question that I'm gonna have to ask, and I don't, Okay,
Mhm.
what is his relationship to magic?
None, as far as we know so far.
But we're seeing from his point of view, so we can say something.
Yeah, but no, I would say nothing so far.
Okay.
Like the fantasy can always come in later with the villains.
So are we switching back? So we're switching just to get his backstory. I guess we're in his point of view.
Mhm.
Do we switch back to start Nobody's Perfect, or do we stay in his point of view? And
No, we should get back to her.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So she's okay. So back to her.
So that he could his backstory being cruddy is the counterpoint to her seeing him not looking cruddy.
Yeah.
So you got to go back to her point of view and her seeing him being amazing.
Oh, so she's sitting there with her drink, and she's
Yeah.
like, "Wow, he's so amazing. I bet
Mhm.
he is awesome
With
and
this
cool."
big city musician, he is awesome and cool.
Okay, so yeah. I guess that's good, because if they're gonna end up together, it'd be nice if before they get to the point where they're like, "Oh, actually, we hate each other, bleh, and we're never gonna be in love," she could have an instinct. Her
Mhm,
instinct
mhm.
about him is that he is the man for her, and na.
Or at
Okay.
least the life for her.
Okay.
She'll see he could be representative of a life that she's like, oh, I never even considered this.
Well, one of the romance tropes in Romantasy that I was able to find
Mhm.
was, because actually there's not a lot of Romantasy guidance out there, which is weird, because apparently it's kind of popping off right now, which I didn't even know. Because like if you listen to that last episode of season 1, I had no idea what Romantasy was, and I looked it up, and apparently it's a little bit of a hot topic right now, so
Mhm,
that's pretty
mhm.
cool. What the fuck am I saying?
Oh.
So oh yeah, is a fake relationship. Like, it's like you could have a love triangle, you could have enemies to lovers, or you could have fake relationship. So maybe that's what their thing will be.
Mm.
You know what? Why am I going there? I don't even. There's no reason to go there now.
These are some options for people to think about for the future.
But okay, so
we don't have to go there now.
we go to his point of view. His life is actually shitty. We go back to her point of view. She is thinking how awesome he is. Now we have to hit hesitant to embark on adventure because of their weaknesses and fears. Refusal can be resolved through encouragement or realizing what they are missing. So seeing him and how beautiful he is and how he's making it work, it emboldens her from her fears of her own failures or in the big city.
Yes.
Because when she gets robbed of her bindle, she loses confidence, and she's like, "You're right. Like, oh, I fucked up. Like, why did I think I could even do this? Like, nah, I'm going back home. But first, let me have that drink." Because maybe she's outside, like walking the streets, and maybe it starts to rain, so she goes inside, or maybe she hears the music and she's drawn inside, and she's like, "Fuck it. I have one beer. I might as well sit and listen to this music. This sounds pretty cool." Before I slink back home.
Yeah, exactly.
But then she sees how he's doing so well, or he seems to be doing so well. Maybe like there's some fans up there doing like dance, or you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Like he looks like he's doing.
People are enjoying themselves at the tavern as they do.
Yeah. So, so I guess that would be realizing what they are missing as far as the refusal resolution options.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So I guess that's. Oh my god, I think that's it.
And then we only get halfway through that beat, so the other half will be
Yeah,
the next time.
The next chapter will start with
which will be technically
with them
the actual
meeting,
first meeting, yes.
and then they will completely turn each other off.
Yeah.
Or at least one of them. But we'll talk about that next time. Okay, so guess what, everyone?
Oh my god, we're here.
We've done the brainstorm for chapter 1.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's pretty good. You have, 1,000 words? You don't even have to listen to it. We're talking, obviously.
You get to name this world. You get to name these people.
This is your chance. Yeah, you can name the people. You can make them look like whatever you want.
You can put something spooky in the background that we don't even notice.
Exactly.
That's going to come up later. Whatever.
As long as you fulfill the beat and a half, I will put your name into Tombola.
The Tombola.
And if you are chosen, you will be a part of this story, this brand new story that you have initiated.
This could be your fantasy moment.
This is your romantasy moment.
Mm-hmm. Where you can be a small girl coming from the small town to the big city.
And you know what? If you know something about romantasy and how to write it, show us what you got, because we have no idea. All right, Ripley, is there anything you want to plug? Where do people find you? Blah, blah, blah.
Well, as you know, the game is officially underway. The starter set is complete. All of the stuff is up, and we now have a Patreon.
What?
That's right. You can find it under Patreon, Spooky Room Productions.
Members only content.
There's good stuff in there. It's got its own podcast, its own newsletter.
I am not part of that podcast.
There's some. Yeah,
so if you're like, oh my god, I really like Ripley's podcast, but what the fuck? Why is that bitch always in there?
Well,
I won't be there.
She's on the other one.
I won't be there.
Well, we'll have some chit chats. There's some. All the rules that are coming out in the next few years are going to be published there early. Lots of good stuff. And, of course, SpookyRoomProductions.com, the website where you can find out everything about everything that we do.
Yeah.
It's wonderful.
All right. I'll leave you in here with Hermes, who, by the way, is completely fine. We have checked him over.
He's
and
fine.
He's fine.
He's a happy camper.
Yeah, he was totally... He's evil, but he's also intelligent. Like, he's diabolical. So, like, he'll do evil things and bad stuff will happen, and he'll be like, yeah, it's fine. Anyway, bye, Hermes. Bye, Rip. See you next time. Thank you for the brainstorm. Or maybe not see you next time. Who knows who will be here in the Spooky Room Productions
who could be? Who
to
could
help
be?
with the brainstorm.
Wow.
Bye.
A romantasy expert.
We live in hope, you know.
And remember, in the future, everybody, we will be judging your swindles, so
yeah, that's true.
Make it swindy.
If you write a romantic scene, we will definitely swind it. And if you don't know what that means, should I say it? Okay, do you have like another 90 seconds, everyone? Here we go.
Here we go.
All right, SWIND is an acronym that I created after studying romantic scenes in books and movies. And this is, you need 3 out of the 5 things to be checked off in order for it to be an official romantic situation. You'll know what I mean when I say it. Here we go. S, spontaneous or surprise.
W.
Weird lighting.
I.
Isolation.
N.
Nature.
D.
Dancing or at least music. So there you go. That's a SWIND. That if you get 3 of the, I mean, you can do all 5. But if you get at least 3, it's officially in a romantic situation. We'll definitely talk more about that.
I
Later
still say
on,
W is weird touching.
Yeah, well, Ripley's SWIND is different. What's the first one? Is surprise,
Surprise.
weird touching, isolation, nudity,
Yeah.
and I don't forget what
It's
D.
probably dick.
So anyway, I mean, you know what? If you do a SWIND, if you do a romantic scene and it turns out to be a Ripley SWIND,
You'll need another song then.
maybe. You know what? I gotta go. I've been trying to leave. You've been holding me here with your chatter and your patter and your banter. And now you're starting to canter.
She loves the band, she does.
I got to go. Goodbye. Wow, that was an amazing brainstorm. And I'm certain that we will together. You're inspired, right? You're gonna write it. It's fine. I don't have to write it. You won't make me write it. You like Romantasy. You understand it and you want to participate. Okay. And now, since you're all jazzed up and ready to write, you need some kind of guidance. And here is the small but significant change. It's something I call the 15-second rules and regulations, 15-second R&R. Last year, I tried to say each of the 9 rules and regulations and gave them each 15 seconds. Well, I'm going to say the whole thing in 15 seconds. Oh, my God. Or I'm going to fail it. But when you submit or you're thinking about submitting, just follow the link. Oh, my cat is climbing. Okay. Anyway, the full rules will be there. I'll link that, obviously, as well. Okay, here we go. 15-second R&R. Let's go. I have my little timer. Here we go. 1, every podcast, there's a 1,000-word limit. Any form is fine. Keep things are no underage, no animals. I'm not going to edit anything. Research is optional. The tombola is a random draw of qualified entries. You can submit it. Ooh, fuck. Well, I'll get better at that. You can submit at spookyroomproductions.com. You don't have to use your real name. Okay, I'm kind of cheating. I'm kind of doing it. But anyway, you can use your real name. You can use your pen name. There's a 100-word limit on self-promo or any little message you want me to read out after I say your name. You can also submit a name for the overall story. You can also submit an illustration. It can be a drawing of anything. Just you can be good at drawing. You can be bad. If you go to YouTube and go to my YouTube page, Crandall Monk, I have been painting all of these pictures, and I'm really bad at painting. So don't feel bad. And like again, you don't have to use your real name. So any old shit will do. It's about doing stuff, you know. I support you. And always keep in mind that there's no sign up. I don't want your email. You don't have to do anything. There's no reading fee. There's nothing weird like that. There's also no payment ever, except the practice and fun that you will have supporting this podcast and doing something interesting, and, you know, you'll have a good time. What's the big deal? I don't ask nothing from you. You don't get nothing back except the thrill of hearing me read your chapter. I don't know why I did that. Sorry. All right. Now there's just one more thing to do before I tell you the submission dates and all that, and that is the author quote. And because, again, it was hard to find actual, like, just straight up romantasy stuff, I took quotes from romance writers and quotes from fantasy writers, and I've alternated them. Is that how you would say that? So our first quote going to be from a romance writer. Jean Adams says, I could say that romance matters because stories that empower us make us better people, better friends, better spouses, better parents, and romance, above all genres, empowers. Wow, that's something that we all needed to hear. Thank you, Jean Adams. Or Jeannie. I think it's Jean. Anyway. Submissions close on April 30th, 2025. So get your chapter in. All you have to do is make sure you follow the beats, and you don't have to follow our brainstorm. We don't know what we're talking about. But if you want to, it's fine. But if you want to write your own thing, as long as you cover the beats that we discussed in the brainstorm, then it is all good, and you will go into the tombola. So April 30th, 2025 is the submission deadline. The next podcast will drop on May 11th, 2025. Everything is linked below. Go to spookyroomproductions.com. You can see me on YouTube at Crandall Monk. And remember, it's better to finish something than to give up on everything. And you know what I mean. Let's go.